Hello all, Merry Christmas and welcome back to another model railway video. Now today's video is going to be my last video for 2023. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video to end the year off of a very special locomotive. This particular engine in real life has had a lot of attention lately. It is celebrating a tremendous milestone, 100 years since it was built. Of course, it can only be one locomotive this year, and here it is. The legendary Flying Scotsman. This particular model is from the special centenary range that Hornby have produced. This particular example is the 1963 Alan Pegler version. Now there's a particular reason I've gone for this model, and that is due to the fact it represents the most important moment in the Flying Scotsman's history, in my opinion anyway. It was when it was first preserved. It was saved from scrap and began its amazing career in preservation. The locomotive went all over the world really. It went to Australia, it went to America. It was so well travelled, and in the UK, my goodness, the amount of miles it must have clocked up, it would have been incredible. So that is the reason why I've gone for it. It was the beginning of its life and preservation. So today I'm going to be unboxing this model. I'm going to be having a close look at the details, and then I will be running it on my layout. So let's get into it. Right, so I've zoomed the camera right out for the first bit is because there is some stuff in the box that I want to catch a glimpse of. It's because this box is massive. But obviously, I've already had a look at this model, of course, when I got it. Just because I couldn't wait, because I was too excited. So, Flying Scotsman 100 years. So the bit that I'm wanting to capture at the moment is that back bit up there, where it's got a little bit of information about the engine with Alan Pegler's involvement. So if you want to have a read of that, that hopefully is frozen for enough time. If you want to pause the video, have a read of that. I'm not going to read it now, but yeah, pretty much just talks about how Alan Pegler played the role in saving the Scotsman. So I'll now position the camera properly on the model itself. So there we are, the camera is now down on the locomotive. And just before I get into having a close look at the engine, there's one thing I want to show you, and it is what comes with the model. This is a special plaque, or plate, or whatever you call it, and it says Flying Scotsman 100 years, and it's got LNER 4472 from 1963. So each model comes with one of these, the 1963 ones, and the other different versions that are available also come with one, but to suit whatever model it is. Like if it was the recent version, it would be 2023 60103, I believe. I could be wrong on that one, but yeah, they're different depending on what particular version it is. Now I'm going to put that safely out the way because I will need to lift the box up to get to the manual and stuff and show you the certificate and all that. So we'll get the model out first, so that's out the way. If I can. Yep. There we go. I'll place that safely out the way. And I'm just going to dig into here. I haven't actually looked at these really. I don't think I've looked at the manual at all. I do remember the number though. So there is my certificate, and it is number 214 out of 500. So that's pretty cool. So for only 500 models. Normally the limited edition models I get are 1,000 run or something like that. And it's even got a signature from Simon Kohler from Hornby. I don't think he works there anymore, so this might be quite rare now. You never know. So, let's have a look at this manual. Class A1/A3 steam locomotive and tender. And this, I'm pretty sure, is from their modern A1 range. Is because it does have, oops, sorry, bumped the camera a bit there. It does have one very modern feature which I'll point out on the manual. Have I looked at this yet or not? I don't think I have. But yeah, it pretty much talks about lubrication points, body removal. What's that there? That's the tender body removal. This is the feature I want to talk about. This is the tender connection. It's quite a new design. It's one of those clip together ones, and I think this is a really good idea. That way you don't have dangling wires. It's a much tidier connection, and you can actually separate the locomotive and tender really easily. You don't have to unscrew anything, just clip, that's it. Don't have to unplug anything else, just one simple clip. So I think that's really cool to see. And that's where your DCC socket is. And coal removal replacement. Yeah, don't know what that's about. I guess it's just showing you how you remove the coal loads, I think. I don't know, I have to have a close look at that. And what's on the back? Oh, and that's just where your brake rods go. So that's also included in the detail pack. Very good. I'll move that out the way, I'll move the box out the way, and then we'll have a close look at the model. So there it is, the stunning 1963 Alan Pegler version of the Flying Scotsman. Absolutely brilliant model. I can't wait to have a close look at the details of this. I've had it out of the box a couple of times now, but I have not had a real in-depth look at this thing, so I'm really excited to do that. Right, before we get into it though, I want to have a quick look at the detail bag. So, in this detail bag, you got tons of stuff. Brake rods, spare set of wheels for the back to swap out with the flangelless set. You've got crew members, so cool that Hornby have included those. You've got the drain cocks, screw link couplings, steps, all sorts of bits and pieces to fit to the locomotive. And you've even got a separate little booklet here of how to fit the rear set of wheels, the pony, and the screw link coupling. So that's really cool. And also, got to mention this, Ziploc bag. Really cool that Hornby are starting to use these instead of the old ones that you couldn't seal up again because they were a pain. So that's great that they're using those. Right, we'll have a close look at the engine, but what I want to do is separate the loco and tender. One, we can see the new drawbar, and also we can have a good look at each piece up close. So you see how simple that was to separate, just pulled and it separated? Such a good idea. Right, let's have a look at the side of this tender. Now, as you can see, it's a really well finished tender. There's tons of lining all over the place on this. There is the nicely done LNER print. There's the white lining with the black going around the edges. There's the red lining on the frames, really nicely painted. You've also got the green wheels underneath. It's nice to see that they haven't just left them black, they've actually put the green on them. That looks really good. There's handrail details, all separately fitted handrails on the edges here and here. Really well done. We'll have a close look at the frame detail itself. You can see nicely done axle boxes and springs, tons of rivet detail all over the place. It looks really good. You can also see right at the bottom here, you've got the brake rods on the edges here. That looks really nice, and I can just see the brake blocks just sticking out there. Really cool. You can also see from the side view we've got some metal buffers, and these are sprung. So I'll turn to the rear now so you can see those are sprung. Hopefully you can. Oh, my finger's blocking it. I'll do it from that angle. So there you go, sprung buffers. That's a really cool feature. So at the back you can see we've got the details of where the corridor for the tender is. So this locomotive, along with other A3 class engines, were fitted with corridor tenders. The Scotsman didn't originally have this when it was built, but it was fitted with a corridor tender eventually. And pretty much what that allows for is a crew change while the engine is going. So you can actually have someone come through a passenger coach, go through the side of the tender, and then pop out a little door, which is here, to the front of the engine. So, really cool design. You can see there's plenty of detail surrounding it. You can see a little porthole where the corridor is. You can see there's tons of different details, the handrails. I can see lamp brackets, little steps on the edges, handrail up here on the top, and a nicely done buffer beam. There's your Hornby coupling, and I can see there's no screw link on there. It's just a hook on the coupling right underneath there, but you could probably get a screw link coupling to connect onto that. I don't know, might be a bit tight. But yeah, nicely detailed at the rear of the tender. This side again, same thing, really nicely done. Brilliant lining, brilliant LNER print on the side. I tell you what, It's so nice to have a model with the Flying Scotsman that has this much detail. The only other Scotsman models I have are the train set versions. I do not have one to this level of detail, so it's really cool to actually see all this detail applied. And we'll have a look at the front of the tender, and this gives a view of what this new drawbar looks like. As you can see, the detail really isn't spoiled by this. It's just a simple little black piece with a little hook piece down there, and when you look at it, it looks really tidy. I like how this has been done, and it's got the ability to pivot as well. Really, really cool. The detail up top looks fantastic. You can see the little handles have been picked out with the gold paint. That looks really good. I'm pretty sure those are handbrake handles. I could be wrong, but that's what they look like. There's also another small set of handles for something. It could be water or something. I'm not 100% sure what those are used for, but they look really nice. And there's all sorts of other little fine details. You've got these little, I'd say it's probably a holder for possibly your poker or your dart or whatever you use for your fire tools, little tool rack holder things, not sure. But yeah, they look really nice. You can see the door on the exit of the corridor for the corridor tender, and of course your exit for where the coal comes out from the tender as well. And up top, of course, we do have a coal load. It's really nicely done. It's not too chunky. It's quite nice and fine. Looks realistic. You can see where the corridor runs through the tender, and you've got your water cap on the top there as well. So a very well detailed tender. It's really nicely done, and again, this new feature with the drawbar, it's really, really cool to see. Right, the big bit. Well, the whole thing's a big bit. When it's together, it's even bigger. The locomotive. Absolutely brilliant model. There's so much to cover here. What I'll do is I'll start off with the cab. There's actually a lot to cover in the cab in terms of the detail. Right, so I've just adjusted the camera and the light so we can have a quick close look at the cab interior. And I tell you what, look at those hand-painted details in there. The gauges, all the different valves. Absolutely stunning level of detail. Nicely painted, it looks brilliant. You can see the little firebox even as well with the nice detail, and an LED inside. Really, really cool. There's all sorts of rivet detail around the back here. There's a lovely done footplate just there. You got your seats. It's just so well done. For a limited edition model, it's great to see they've incorporated this great amount of detail in there. It looks so cool. It just makes the model even better. I'll put the camera back to normal now and continue the look at the engine. Right, so that is the cab detail, and also from the outside you can also see the coupling, well, drawbar I should say, on the edge. It's like a little circuit board featured thing, and that just simply slots into the tender, and it's just an easy clip-on connection. Very, very cool that has been included. Can't mention that enough. It's such a great feature. Right, the engine's detail itself, very, very well done. Like the tender, there is tons of lining. Look at the boiler bands. Very, very nicely done. In fact, the boiler is so nicely painted. You've got that nice glowing reflection off it. Unfortunately, it's stuffing up the camera view a little bit, but yeah, very nicely done. We'll talk a bit more about the boiler paint itself in a mo, but you can see the lovely 4472 print. Beautiful Flying Scotsman plates on the side with a red background. That's a really, really cool thing to see. I like the red backgrounds on locos, but the Scotsman normally it's a gold lining with writing, and then it's a black background. So to have the red, very, very cool. It's a bit different to the other versions I've seen. In terms of other painted details, you can see you've got your plugs on the outside of the firebox. They are really nicely done with the lining around them. I can see the boiler stays. I'm pretty sure that's what those are at the top. Either stays or could be more plugs. I think it's the stays are up the top, the plugs are down the bottom. Could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. There's all sorts of other paint work going around the bottom of the loco. There's nice lining around the axle boxes at the back here. There's a lovely lining going right the way along the running board, the cylinders, the wheels. This is what I really, really like, is that lovely white lining around the wheels. It looks so, so nice. And nicely painted wheels too. Or could be just a green coloured plastic with the painted lining added. I'm not sure, but it looks really, really good. So, in terms of the paintwork of the boiler, it looks really, really nice. Blends with the wheels and everything else really, really well. Now, the one thing I want to mention, I'm not 100% sure of this, I haven't done my homework, but I'm pretty sure that this is a metal boiler. There's components fitted to it that are plastic, but I'm pretty sure the boiler right to the smoke box, I'm pretty sure that's metal. To me, it looks like it's metal, it feels like it's metal, it's quite cold to the touch, and there's no moulding lines at all on there. I can't see one moulding line. They've either concealed it very, very well, or it is a metal boiler. I'm pretty sure it is. It looks really, really good. Also, other details. Handrails, you got them going right the way along the edges here. There's lots of fine components on this model. I can see little lubricator boxes. There's all sorts going on. Look at the fine details that are slowly moving along right the way to the cab. There's handrails, fine details, nice lining. I can see the lovely windows even there. You've got a bit of almost like a wooden sort of finished lining. I think it's just brown paint, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to represent like a wooden sliding window. That looks so, so good. I don't know if they slide, but that would be absolutely amazing if they did. I don't think they do though. But yeah, down on the wheel set you've got the brilliant valve gear set up, the coupling rods and everything, nice and fine. They look really, really good. I can see the brake blocks down the bottom. They're all ready to have the brake rods fitted. That looks really good. And even at the front you've got your front pony truck here. That looks really, really good. You've got the lining again. Sorry, the light's gone off. That's better. Nice lining around the wheels. Nice colour. It's consistent with the rest of it. Looks really good. Nice lining around the cylinders. That looks absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, the lining goes right the way to the front here. You've got nice lining around the heading towards the buffer beam. That red line going across there. Oh gosh, there's just so much to cover. I'm looking at so many bits and I'm getting muffled with my words because there's just so many cool parts to this model. So I'll now move to the front of the engine and have a look at the detail on the front. And to tell you what, it just looks so good. The lovely smoke box dart on the front in silver looks really, really good. You've got the hinges and the brackets leading over across the smoke box door. They look really good. You've got lamp bracket, handrails. You can see the pipe on the front there where the buffer beam is. Beautifully done buffer beam with the 4472 print. And you've even got right down the bottom here, I don't know if you can see it, I can only just read it from here, it says A3 right at the bottom, so the A3 class. So well detailed, there's so much to it. Sprung buffers again on the front and they're metal. Oh gosh, it just looks so good. Plenty of rivet detail, more lamp brackets on there, little handrails. Absolutely brilliant, looks so, so good. I'll have a look at the top of the engine now. So as you can see, this loco, this version of course has the single blast pipe. The current Flying Scotsman has been fitted with the double blast pipe, I'm pretty sure, with the smoke deflectors. I'm not a fan of it on the Scotsman personally myself. I prefer this original look, but it's not too bad, the double blast pipe. I've seen worse on other engines. But yeah, so you've got the single blast pipe. There's some nice details around the top of the smoke box there. You've got the dome on the top, looks really nice. You've got the safety valves, which I believe are brass, and there's a little tiny whistle there. And also, I'll move my finger out the way of it. Oh gosh, got a mark on there. You've got the sliding vents on the top as well. Slide those down so you can see those. They look good. And then more rivet detail on that panel above there. So as you can see, excellent detail. There is so much there. I'm not going to cover everything today because there is so much to look at, but it is absolutely jam-packed in details. I'll just turn it to the other side just in case I've missed anything which stands out on the opposite side. I don't think so. It's very much well detailed either side, and it's very consistent. There's small differences, of course, but yeah, very, very nice. And I've got to just say it again, is because I am a big fan of it. This new drawbar system is really, really cool. So I'll do it one more time so you can see it. See how easy it is to put it back together. Look at that. First try, it was just nice and easy. You don't need to put any force in it at all. You shouldn't do anyway. But yeah, it's all together. Easy, done. Such a good system, and I give Hornby a lot of points for that, is because it beats a lot of systems that are out there. Having a drawbar that you've got to screw in and out, it can be a real pain, as I've said. So to have this system, very, very nice. Very good. I'm sorry if I haven't covered all of the details there, folks. There is simply so much to look at. Oh, one thing I will cover while I can still see it. You've also got your builder's plate right on the side of the smoke box there. I can't see it at the moment because it's so fine, but beautifully printed, you can see right there. I should have covered that when I started off. I always cover looking at the prints when I first start off, but yeah, this engine, it's just so well detailed. I'm very, very impressed. Rightio, I'm now going to put this locomotive on the layout and give it a run light engine around the track first, and then I've got a set of the railroad teak coaches which I'll put in behind. I'll have to get some proper standard range teak coaches to go in behind. It would look really, really cool actually. But yeah, I'll show you this engine performing on the layout. Here we go. Right, so the mighty A3 is now down on the layout. So it will start off running light engine, and then it will take a load of coaches around. Now, to go alongside it, it's definitely not going to be an engine that matches up well with this by any means. It's a engine to celebrate the season that is currently happening of Christmas. It is, I better put it in front of the camera so you can see it. It's this little guy, the Santa Express, which we trundling along the tracks. So you'll get to see that as well. Also, you might notice some new buildings on the layout. I'm slowly adding some more scenery to this layout, just some buildings here and there, and I'd say early next year there'll be some more greenery added. So yeah, little just touch-ups here and there that are on the go. Right, we'll get this beautiful machine on the move. Here we go. I've now dialed the lights down a little bit, folks, and have a look at this firebox glow. That is impressive. . So there we go, folks. The 1963 Alan Pegler version of the Flying Scotsman, number 4472, by Hornby. What a fantastic model this is. What a cool limited edition model, packed with details. It's a really good quality locomotive, and the fact that they've included the new style of drawbar in this model, it just adds to the quality. I'm very, very happy with this locomotive. I already have models of the Flying Scotsman, but this one has been taken to the next level in terms of its detail. I don't have a problem with the older versions of the Scotsman. They're good, they're reliable, but I'm just really happy to see one that has been featured with this level of detail. It is so cool. Now, one thing I failed to do at the beginning of the video, which I'm going to do now, is a little bit of a crawl test. Now, this loco had already been run before I did the video. I've opened it, I've already run it, so, and of course it's been run now during the running session today, so it's not a brand new out of the box crawl that it's going to be. It will be run in, if anything, so yeah, we'll see how it's like. I'll back the engine up. It hasn't had a lot of use, but I'd expect the crawl to be better than what it would be out of the box, so soon find out. Can I get any slower? It's not too bad. A little bit hesitant. In fact, it's stopped there. Oh no, it's come alive. Try it in reverse. Gonna get... Oh, there it goes. Didn't even have to touch it. It just started on its own. Oops, it's just all of a sudden picked up. Crawl's not the best actually, but it's not too bad. This engine's a mainline express engine anyway. It's not going to be doing too much shunting manoeuvres, I don't think. That's not too bad. Excellent model. Very, very cool. Very good. I hope you've enjoyed this video, folks. Sorry that it may have seemed a bit rushed or a bit disorganised. I was simply just taken in so much by this loco in terms of just looking at it. I forgot my place. It's a very beautiful model, and I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to running this thing in the future on a lot of different passenger trains and things on the layout. It's just a real cool piece, and to actually be able to buy one of these during the centenary year of the real Flying Scotsman, it just makes it even better. I'm so pleased with this loco. Absolutely brilliant. Very good. I hope you've enjoyed it, folks. There's definitely going to be plenty more to come in the future on my YouTube channel. I've got some different things planned for next year, but for now, this will be the last video I'm doing of 2023. So once again, a big thank you to all of you who have watched my videos. It's greatly appreciated, and as I've said before, I'm only a beginner, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's all it is for me, just enjoying running my trains and showing other people, is because that's what they're there for. If I kept it all hidden away and locked up and never ran anything, what's the point in having it? It's a real joy to just be able to get trains out, put them on the track, and give them a good run. I love this hobby. I've enjoyed it for many, many years, and I certainly will continue to enjoy it. Very good. Have a very Merry Christmas, guys, and a Happy New Year, and we'll catch you next year for another lot of model railway action. Rightio. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye for now.